Was good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started, I gotta say thank God for another day and another opportunity. Now, as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, today I'm going to be showing y'all how to create a one-of-a-kind rookie Paolo Banchero build in NBA 2K23 on next gen. Now, you can even consider this to be a catfish because we're going to be able to do everything from the defense, playmaking, shooting, as well as the finishing out of this two-way 3-level scorer. Now, not only is this one of the best power forward builds that you're going to be seeing this year on next gen, but with the potential of the physicals, all of these numbers will read in 80 plus if you make it exactly how I bring it to y'all today. Not only that, but the defense is where this build is really going to shine. And I can definitely say that this is just an all-around offensive build, but it's really going to shine most on the defensive end. Now, this build you can also drive to the rim and dunk on your opponents with contact dunks. Also a deadeye, three-point shooter type of build, and all around has some pretty good ball handling. Now, from the gameplay, as y'all can see, we're able to do everything on both ends of the floor, and I really don't think that this is going to be a power forward that anybody is going to struggle with. So look, before we get any further into this video, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, and I would appreciate it if everybody went ahead and smashed that like button. But be sure to comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from watching today, and I most definitely will be hitting y'all back with the response. So we gotta go ahead and get started by putting this build out of the power forward position. Now, when it comes down to the body settings, this is gonna be the most crucial part in order to actually maintain everything that I've mentioned previously. So let's go ahead and get started with putting this build to 6'10". When it comes down to our weight, we're gonna go ahead and put this to 212, and then as for the wingspan, I'm gonna go with 7'4". Now, for the body shape and what I think is best to represent Paolo, I would go with defined, but if you wanted to take up the most space and go with builds, you can definitely go about it this way as well. Now, from here, let's go ahead and get started as always with the physicals. So for our speed, I'm going to go with an 80, 76 acceleration, 80 strength, 80 vertical, with an 89 stamina. Now remember, with the gym rat badge or the Gatorade facility workouts, go ahead and add a +4 towards this area, and the numbers are going to be 84, 80, 84, 84, and 93. Now, I think this sets us up perfectly for this area of the physicals. Let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of the offense with the finishing. So we're going to get a total of 14 badges out of the finishing area, and for the close shot, I'm going to go with the 50, 70 driving layup, 86 driving dunk, and an 80 standing dunk. Now with this build all around on the inside, I think we're perfect. With the 14 badges, I like Giant Slayer, Back Down Punisher, Pro Touch, and Slithery out of Tier 1. For Tier 2, I'm happy that we do get Limitless Takeoff with Fearless Finisher, and honestly, Bully and Fast Switch are pretty solid out of the Bronze tier. But the main badge that I'm looking at for Tier 3 will be Posterizer. Now, I also do like Rise Up, but again, you have to make adjustments to get more badges or add extra badge points towards this area. Now from here, I'm going to leave the finishing like this. Let's go ahead and get started with the shooting. Now for the mid-range shot, I'm going to go with an 80, 81 3-pointer with an 80 free throw. Now with these 21 badges, I like Amped and Mini Magician, Space Creator, and Volume Shooter for Tier 1. For Tier 2, I'm looking at Green Machine as well as Agent 3. And then for Tier 3, I really do like Limitless Range. Now all of these badges taken into consideration will help us boost our shooting percentage. And I'm just going to go ahead and let you know right now we will be able to get shot creating and or sharpshooting takeover. It really comes down to how you make this build and if you follow every single step. Let's go ahead and get started when it comes down to the playmaking. So right here, we're going to get another 14 badges, and for the pass accuracy, I'm going to go with the 67, 80 ball handle with a 71 speed with the ball, and I'm telling you right now, the pass accuracy will be perfect, especially once you buy boost for this area, which will be a +4 to a +5, so you're easily going to be able to hit that 70s range for the pass accuracy. But as far as for the badges, I like Hyperdrive and Killer Combos for Tier 1, Handles for Days as well, and even Clamp Breaker, but I'm really looking at Quick First Step on Silver. And if you throw 2 extra badge points into the playmaking area, we're going to be able to core Unpluckable on the Silver tier. Now I think when it comes down to the offense, we're an all-around threat. You're able to get contact dunks, even finish on the inside a little bit, shoot from deep as well as the mid-range, take this build into any game mode with that high free throw, and we're still able to get pro dribble animations past the ball, and I think this is going to be a well-balanced offensive set. Now from here, let's go ahead and wrap it up with the best part of this build, which will be the defense. Now with the interior defense, I'm going to go with the 90, 70 perimeter, 42 steal, 93 block, 70 offensive rebound, and a 90 defensive. Now with these 24 badges, I think we're going to be able to guard just about any position 1 through 5. Now we get ankle braces, glove, and interceptor. I also do like post lockdown. For tier 2, I'm looking at box out beast with chase down artist on Hall of Fame. Challenger is solid as well, but I'm really focused on anchor as well as rebound chaser. Now if you wanted to play center with this build, I think we have the perfect badges to go hand in hand with that role. But if you wanted to make any type of adjustment towards the defensive area, go ahead and do so. But I think I created this build perfectly for anybody to pick this build up and find success, especially to be able to take it into any game mode as well. Now we also have a lot of potential with this build from the takeovers. We get the shot creating and the sharpshooting, the rim protecting, as well as the glass cleaning. Now remember, we get the pro dribble moves as well as the contact dunks, and if you pick the correct takeovers, we have the potential of reaching a 100 plus driving dunk, mid-range, three-pointer, free throw, interior defense, block, as well as our defensive rebound. And keep in mind also that all of our physicals, once max this build out, will be above an 80. So the first takeover that I'm going to go with will be limitless range. Now the second one, in what I think is my personal favorite, it's definitely going to be paint intimidation for the defensive end. Now I can definitely see why some of y'all would go with see the future takeover. And let's say you're playing the ones court, I think this is another dominant setup to go with as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and check out the build to make sure that we made it correctly. And if you followed every single step, we should be getting these 3 comparisons. And as y'all can see together, we were able to create a catfish, 2-way 3-level score, Paolo Banchero build in NBA 2K23 on next gen. Now I would appreciate it if y'all followed every single step. Let me know, what do you think about this build, and would you make any changes or adjustments? But just keep in mind, look, we get a plus 10 towards 2 separate takeovers, the plus 5 from buying your own boost. Keep in mind also that your stats gradually go up the better you play. And we also will be running with a teammate that does have on Hall of Fame floor general. That's at least a plus 20 towards a few different areas of this build if you add all the extra attributes together. From here, I'm going to leave it like this, and let's get started with the badge layout. Now for the badge layout for the finishing, on tier 1, I'm going to go with Acrobat, Back Down Punisher, Slithery, Pro Touch, and Giant Slayer for tier 1. For tier 2, I'm going to go with Fearless Finisher and Core Gold Limitless Takeoff. Now look, if you do decide to throw anywhere from, I would say, like 2 to 3 extra badges, we're going to be able to get Posterizer on the silver tier. Also keep in mind, the more badges that you add to this area, you're going to be able to unlock also Bully and possibly Rise Up and Fast Twitch. It really comes down to how you go about this setup, and as well as how you put the attributes for the finishing. Now for the shooting, on tier 1, I'm going to go with Amped, MIDI Magician, Space Creator, and Volume Shooter. Now for tier 2, I like Green Machine and Agent 3, and of course our core badge will be Limitless Range. Now I think we have all of the perfect shooting badges in order to boost our shooting percentage, especially with our takeovers. That's going to make a bigger difference. But if you wanted to, you can pretty much go about the badge layout to your own playstyle and liking. Now when it comes down to the playmaking, I'm going to go with Clamp Breaker, Handles for Days, Hyperdrive, and Killer Combos out of tier 1. For tier 2, I like Bailout, Quick First Step, and Vice Grip. And I really think that this is one of the well-balanced offensive builds, especially when you look at the fact at what we're able to do when you pair up the playmaking with the finishing and the shooting. Now when it comes down to the defensive end, I went with ankle braces just so we don't struggle with guarding smaller defenders. I also like glove and interceptor with post lockdown. For tier 2, I'm going to go with chase down artist and box out beast. And then for tier 3, I like anchor and rebound chaser. Now if you want to make any adjustments, now's going to be the time to do so. But I think when it comes down to this defensive end, there's no better badge setup to go with. Now I can definitely see if you want to throw on Challenger or Brick Wall, but this all comes down to your own playstyle and which role you're going to be filling on your team. Now here's a few different jump shots that you're going to be able to look at and create from, just to give y'all a quick idea of what this build can actually do with the shooting. But if you did make it to the end, man, thank you so much for your support. Thank you, God, for another day and another opportunity. And look, I just want to say, if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. And I would appreciate it if everybody smashed that like button and commented down TG for thank God, as well as where you're tuning in from watching today. And I will definitely be hitting y'all back with a response. But again, with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.